In five, four, three, you know the rest. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Apple just did a thing. They just announced some brand new stuff. 7 different things that are actually happening in the world of Apple. So we're going to take a look at those things here in this live video. I'm going to give you a summary of the 7 things, and then we're going to dive in and see what they are all about. And specifically, as a music creator or a creative person, is there anything here that's cool that you want to check out? My name is Pete. This is Studio Live today. Let's get started. So we're going to start with the most important thing, which is that iOS 14 and iPadOS 14 are finally coming, and we know a date. It is tomorrow. If you're watching this live, it is the 16th of September, which probably equates to the 17th of September for me here in Australia. But yes, we have it. There it is in all its glory, all its widgety glory. You can check it out. You can check all about iOS 14 and iPadOS 14. We've known about this for a while. We've been being teased about it for a while, and now we finally have it coming. So I put that up front because in order of importance, that's something that pretty much everyone, if you've got an iPad Air 2, an iPhone 6S or above, an iPad Mini 4 or above, or any iPad Pro, you're going to be able to get this iOS 14 or iPadOS 14. Next up at the announcements was a new iPad. Now, we thought we'd get an iPad Air, a new iPad Air 4th generation, but we actually also got this, which is an iPad 8th generation. It has a 10.2-inch screen, same as the last one, but the big difference is they've beefed it up. It's an A12 bionic processor. The old one had the old A9, I think. It was pretty ordinary. But this one from 329, and this one is coming out on the 18th of September. So you can actually jump in and order it from like now or maybe tomorrow. I think it goes on pre-order. It's going to be the go-to mid-range iPad for all, the one iPad to rule them all. Still uses Lightning. That's important. We'll talk about why in a moment, but it has Apple Pencil support and is, yeah, like I said, 329 from tomorrow. The A12 Bionic is going to make it good. The next thing that was announced, well, no, it wasn't in order, but the next thing that I'm interested in is this one. Yes, the new Air, the 4th generation of the iPad Air. It is thin, it is light, it has that new bezel, it looks a bit like a Pro, and here's what it looks like. Yeah, squiggly lines and all, an all-screen design. So the main specs on this one are a 10.9-inch screen. This one is the first with the A14 Bionic processor. Yes, you can see 10.9-inch screen, liquid retina display, which is their fancy way of saying a nice looking screen. Here's the thing. Built into the top button is the fingerprint sensor. Yes, Touch ID is back, but it's in a different place. There's no button, but Touch ID is on the power button, or the top button as they call it there. So that is that one. And USB-C. Yes, it's an advanced chip, Apple. It's very fancy, very fancy. A14 Bionic and USB-C. So iPad Air will go USB-C. iPad remains Lightning. That's the big news out of that one. Then there was a bunch of other stuff. I'll mention it quickly here, but it's not super music related or creator related. We've got a new Apple Watch, and it does come in red, which means, as we know, it goes faster. So that's a good thing. A red watch that goes faster is going to be good. We've got the Apple Watch SE for the budget-conscious tight asses like me. You can get yourself a cheaper Apple Watch. So the specs on the Apple Watch, by the way, $399 for your Apple Watch 6th generation, available from the 18th of September, and your SE for us cheapies, available also from the 18th for $279. Those are US dollar bucks. A lot more here in Australia, like everything. Couple more things that were announced. The Apple One subscription plan. So instead of paying Apple 4 separate subscriptions, now you get the pleasure of paying them just one big monthly fee for everything. Look, if you use it and you're going to get a discount, why not? You can see there you've got Apple Music, TV, Arcade, iCloud, Apple News, Apple Fitness. There's different plans. There's individual plans, family plans, and like premium plans. Premium, dude, premium. And you can check out all of those over on the website. Just go to apple.com, by the way. That's where I am here. All of this stuff. And that is coming in fall. I love when a season is the release date. When is it going to be released? Fall. Okay, go with it. You do you, Apple. And finally, I put this last because fitness, right? But Apple Fitness Plus. So yes, they're jumping on the fitness bandwagon, trying to compete with the Fitbits of the world and trying to get their finger hold. Get it? You know, like that thing you have to do where you hold, getting their finger hold in the fitness world. So Apple Fitness Plus is coming, powered by your Apple Watch. You watch stuff on your screen, and from what I've heard from people who tell me these things, you jump up and down and you bend and stretch and lift weights, and it all looks painful and a little bit tedious. But if you're into your fitness and you're a fit person, unlike me, then you may be digging on that. And you know what? The Apple Watch may be something that I consider. If they had one app on there that helped me make music, maybe I'd go the Apple Watch. So there you go. That is the that is the complete announcement. If you just wanted the quick fire, what was said, what's coming, when's it coming, there you go. There's links down in the description to a 12-minute CNET video that you can check out. And there's also the 7 kind of dot points that tell you what's coming, what the availability date is, and how much it's going to cost. But to me, this one's the most important one, that we are going to finally have iOS 14 for all. And we'll be able to iOS and iPadOS 14 it up to our heart's content. What do you think? What is the outcome here? I am going to hang around. If you just wanted to get the information and you'll be on your way, then you're now free to go. And I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, do all those cool YouTube things, like the video if you got some value out of it. But for those that are here live on YouTube and Facebook, we're now going to jump into your comments and any Q&A that you may have about this. Tom Rochelle says, kick some serious tasks. Yeah, there you go. Tom also says, even the new Apple Watch had some compelling new features. Yeah, and because I'm talking more about the musical side and the creative side, we probably didn't cover a lot of that. We've got Undercover Chris. He's got questions here about DistroKid. Where can I ask them? Go to my DistroKid FAQ is the best place to go. DistroKid, studiolivetoday.com/DistroKid. That is where I would go. Hello to Kyle TV. The iPad Air 4 looks great. It really does, and we will talk about these in more detail as we go. Just wanted to check in and see if anyone had any questions here or any comments of their own. Scott says, yeah, the iPad Air seems like a good price option versus the current iPad Pro. I'm happy with my Pro, but if I was looking to upgrade, the Air is nice. Yeah, and there was a bit of a gap, to be honest. I think what the Air is going to do, Air will fill the gap. That sounds like a song title, doesn't it? I think Air will fill the gap. So if we come back over to here, yeah, it's just having the USB-C. Yes, pencil support, it does all those things. Magic Keyboard support, buried the lead on that one. But it kind of looks like a Pro, but doesn't have like all the big sort of LiDAR sensors and things at the back there. Nearly 11 inches, so it's almost exactly the same. 10.9 inches, just because of that bezel. All of the different colors of the world. Yeah, it comes in different colors too, which is I kind of left out there. 40% faster CPU. So yeah, that's definitely going to be one that creators are going to get excited about and start using. Was that LumaFusion? Oh, LumaFusion will be happy with that. They get a mention, my editing app of choice. So yeah, I think you're right. I think the iPad Air is going to be a good option for folks moving forward. See if we've got any other comments or questions from folks here. Yes, Scott did. They did mention that a third-party DJ app was mentioned, so there's something music related. Yeah, so there was a DJ app where you could scratch on your screen and again, I'm not big into the DJ stuff, but yeah, anytime they mention music, that was pretty cool. They did show a picture. See, I didn't see this, Tom. They showed a picture of someone using GarageBand, and I was hopeful they'd say something about it, but nada. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get it straight away, but with iOS 13, they just snuck in a little update that was an iOS 13 update just with dark mode and file support. I don't know if there's any features that are going to be relevant enough for them to include at this time, but we'll certainly find out in due course. Hopefully it does. And yeah, the DJ app already exists. Yeah, I don't think it was new, but I think they were just talking about how cool it would be to use it on the new iPad Air. Thank you for the tip of the hat. Appreciate it. You missed the intro. Well, that's all right. Go back. It's only 5 minutes. I wanted to make sure we got all of the info up front. So if anyone's watching on the replay, they're not going to be sitting around waiting. It's my pet peeve when someone comes on a video like this and they spend 30 minutes waxing lyrical about what might happen and what they might say, and they don't get to the bloody point. So hopefully we got to the bloody point. All right. Speaking of the point, let's go back and go through because I've got some more details and we'll go through each one of these in a little more detail, kind of in the order that they went through them. So we'll come back to the Apple Watch because, in case you're interested in the details of this, even though it's not really music created, what does it do? We've got new colors, including red, which goes faster. We know that. It's got a blood oxygen meter in there, which is interesting. It's got interchangeable bands. They talked about the solo loop. Yes, it is the future of your health on my wrist, which is a good thing. There's that blood oxygen monitor that it's talking about there. You can check out the O2 of your blood. A lot about that. New sensors, new things. It takes pictures of your insides, which can't possibly go wrong. An ECG on your wrist too. So yeah, it's got some cool stuff. And sleep tracking, finally. I mean, my Fitbit's been doing that for about a decade, but that's okay. Well done, caught up. And a bunch of other things that you can do there. So it's shiny. It comes in red. I may eventually buy one, but it's not kind of on my radar for something immediate that I want to do. The next one, oh, sorry, was there anything? Yeah, so $399 for the Series 6. They did sort of mention as well, especially with the SE. So here is the Apple Watch SE. Comes in some fun, vibrant colors. The different thing about this one, again, if you're considering the Apple Watch, is that this doesn't, I think it's the same on all of them. If you have kids and you want to use an Apple Watch, you don't have to pair it to just one iPhone. So if you've got someone who doesn't have an iPhone, it can be paired to like a family iPhone. And then it's got creepy things like automatic location tracking and things so that you can know exactly what people are doing at any given time. No, it's actually a good thing, right? But yeah, like with anything, the tinfoil hat folks will come out and think that Apple are going to be tracking your movements. They are. You are giving them your data, but hopefully they're less evil and don't do super evil things with it. So that's the iPhone SE. Again, more geared at, again, the same people that would buy the iPhone SE. They're really setting up this middle sort of budget tier of phones and watches, and that's where the new iPad sort of fits in that middle range, sort of the consumer level, and then you go up to the prosumer level, which is your Gen 6s, your Air 4s, etc. But there you go. You get to look like you're having as much fun as that guy if you wear the Apple Watch. Fitness Plus, I didn't really talk about that, but that is here. Fitness Plus is you pair with your Apple devices, works on any of your Apple screen. You got your yoga, your cycling, your dancing, your strength, your core. Integrates with Apple Music, which I thought was pretty cool. So, there's workouts you do along to music, and then you use your Apple Music subscription to join in with that. And you do get 3 months for free with the Apple Watch. It is $9.99 per month, which seems to be the price point for everything, and $79.99 per year if you want to get involved in some Apple fitness. Apple One, I kind of just touched on briefly. That's this one here. So, as we mentioned in the opening and in the summary, you can basically bring together all the different Apple services into one bundle. Now, I haven't taken a really good look at prices, so let's do this here. Individual, $15 a month. So, music, TV, arcade, and 50 gig of iCloud. I mean, 50 gig of iCloud's not going to do much. Most of us have 128 gig phones or 256 or 512. Yeah, you're not going to even be able to back up your phone in 50 gigs. So the individual is probably put there so that you buy the family. If you know anything about marketing and sales, you'll know that you always have three options. You always make the middle one the one that most people will go for. You make this one expensive enough that it's kind of like, oh, if I'm going to spend 15, I might as well spend 20. And then you have a premier one for the people that are just like, take my wallet. I want to spend all. So yeah, this middle one I think will be the most attractive. $20 a month, you get your music, you get your TV, you get your games, and 200 gigabytes of storage, which will be enough for a lot of folks to use. The Premiere one though is where the serious Apple folks will be. $30 a month, and again for me, I already pay 15 a month for 2 terabytes of iCloud. So this makes this pretty compelling. I mean, it'll be more. It'll be 39 or probably 49 Australian, but it's pretty compelling. If I get music, TV, arcade, iCloud, news, and fitness all in one, if I did have an Apple Watch, yeah, you know what, $30 a month, or again, Australian 50 a month. In fact, can we go to usually if you just stick an AU in here, I'll just see how much it costs. This is just Pete researching for himself, for his own sake. Apple One, yes, it's doing its thing. What's it going to cost me in Aussie dollar bucks? Hey, it's only $39.99 a month. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty cool. Save $39 a month. Yeah. So yeah, later this year, Can I sign up for it now? I'll be exploring that because again, if I do continue, because I've got my 2 terabytes of cloud storage, if I get music, TV, arcade, news, and fitness thrown in, and it's only going to be 40 a month compared to my 15 a month, maybe I do that. I move away from Google Play and other things that I'm using and consolidate. Apple, you may own me soon. So that is Apple One. Let's dive into the iPads and just talk a little bit more about those ones before we go. Where is it? There is the 10.2 inch. We've already been through most of the details of this one, so there's not much else to say. 10.2 inch, got the A12 Bionic. You can see by the graphics and things that this is aimed at your mid-level consumer that are going to want to do just the general tasks. You don't need a lot of power, but I do think that this is going to be a pretty awesome entry-level iPad for music creation. The problem with the old one was $329, good price, but the old chip really did hold it back. It was hard to multitask. It was hard to run a bunch of plugins, a bunch of apps and things. With this one, with the A12 Bionic in there, that is actually going to fly along because that's the same that we had in the old iPad Air 3. So it is going to, oh, you can use a PS4 controller? Okay, didn't know that. But yeah, I think this is going to appeal to creatives at the budget level, and it's going to do a lot of cool things for folks. So yeah, I think that that's going to be a decent creative. Obviously, more of a consumer model, but I think it'll work well for creators as well, those that are on a budget. And finally, this one here, the iPad Air 4. The notepad, yeah, so you got Apple Pencil support. You can charge the pencil, so it's got the little charger thing on the side. Nice design. You can use the Magic keyboard. Yes, does support the $500 keyboard. No, it's only a $350 keyboard, the 11-inch. That's okay. But yeah, very similar to the iPad Pro. Very, very much aimed at sitting in between the iPad and the iPad Pro. Again, it's that marketing thing where you design a product that people go, well, if I'm going to buy the iPad for $329, for $599, I buy this. I don't want to spend $1,000 on an iPad Pro, but I do want something cool. Then $599, the iPad Air 4th Gen looks like it might be the go. Looks nice. Ooh. 40% faster, they love percentages, 30% faster graphics, 70% faster machine learning, and the Touch ID. I did mention it before, but having the Touch ID on the button, can they please bring that to all devices? Face ID on my iPad Pro, the amount of times I swipe up on that sucker and then my thumb is over my camera and it's like, we can't see your face. And I'm like, okay. Face ID for the loss. I don't like Face ID. I want my Touch ID back. Let me check my notes. I think we've covered everything. Yes, we've talked iOS 14, iPad Air, the new iPad, Apple One, Apple Fitness, Apple Watch, and that is it. So, it's an announcement. I think Jade Starr said she was pretty unimpressed with things. Let me know what you think. If you're watching on the replay, what are your thoughts? Are you going to line up to get yourself a new iPad? Is it time to upgrade? Apple Watch, maybe you're going to go down that path. The Apple One subscription, does that have any interest for you? Not sure. Let's check in and see if we've got any other comments or questions. Tom says the pencil charger is a nice feature. Having to plug it into the lightning port, have it stick out is not ideal. Yeah, so that would be a reason for that. Jorge, probably. Hi, Pete. What do you think about these announcements for music productions? It seems all about health or painting, but for our music geeks, it's hard to see the commitment on that. It is an interesting one. So again, in some of their pictures and some of their vision, they show, video editing and a little bit of music creation, but there wasn't a whole lot. I think the reason for that is that there were no pro anything in this announcement. I think when you have an announcement that has pro models, they're very much more centered around creators. They really want to say, hey, if you're a serious creator, you should pick up a pro model. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that you can actually buy like an iPad Air 4 would probably be what I recommend for most creators right now, unless you are really hammering it, unless you're like me and you do a lot of video editing, 4K video, or you're doing a lot of different apps and a lot of plugins and things in your music. I think the iPad Air 4 is going to absolutely crush it. I mean, it's got the A14 Bionic, like it's the only Apple device that has the latest A14 Bionic chip. So it's actually got technically a faster chip than what the iPad Pro has at this point in time. So yeah, we'll see what happens and what comes out of that. But yeah, I think Apple are just sort of setting the groundwork, right? They're setting the framework here so that when they come out with the iPhone 12s, they'll be able to do the same sort of thing. They'll be able to have the iPhone SE that they launched this year, then they'll have the iPhone 12, which will be for the people in the middle that are buying the Air 4, and then they'll have the iPhone 12 Pro for the people that own the iPad Pro. So they're just sort of setting up these three-tiered structure of who their consumers can be. Very, very smart marketing, because they're no longer just for one type of person. If you're a budget conscious, you can buy all the SE stuff and you get good quality gear at a budget price. If you're in the middle there, you can buy the Air model of things and you get, again, much better stuff for a slightly higher price. And if you're a pro, you buy the pro stuff and you pay all the money. Scott says, when the new phones come out is when my current iPhone decides to slow down. And it will happen. Like iOS 14 will come, and I'm sure it will make. And someone on one of the streams actually said this. Might have been the CNET live stream. They said that, yeah, it's good that Apple put like iOS 14 on your older devices. So your iPad Air 2, your iPhone 6S, they'll all get the iOS 14 update. But what it'll make you do is you'll see all these new funky features and you'll be like, I bet these run just a little better on a brand new device. So, yeah, it's not forcing you to buy that. So it's not the old way of forcing you to by making your old device obsolete. But they're just like, it's like that thing where, I don't know if you've ever bought like gear and you buy like the slightly cheaper model. Like, I bought this, the Pioneer 1200. And then you're like, oh man, I'm reading the manual and the Pioneer 1210 has like 7.1 channel surround. Mine only has 5.1. Like, yeah, as soon as you buy something that's the lower model, you're like, man, I should have got the better one. Or is that just me? We'll see. Hello to Jade, who's jumped in here. Jade has 5 minutes to set up her stream. Have I run over? Yeah, I've run over into Jade's stream. So once we finish here, do jump over. I didn't mean to talk quite this long, but we got a bunch of questions and I got a bit excited. But we are going to finish off there. So there it is, the Apple announcement. Let's just summarize it once again, all the things that we had here. So yes, you can go check out the recap there. Links down in the description there. We've got iOS 14, which is coming out tomorrow, which is cool. We've got the new Apple 10.2 inch, which is going to be available this Friday, that you can check out. The new iPad Air, which will ship in about, I think they said next month. Again, very, very vague there. The Apple Watch Series 6 and the Apple Watch SE, both available on the 18th of September. The Apple One subscription that we talked about there, that you can go and subscribe to for all your Apple needs. And then Apple Fitness, if you want to get your fit on. I hope you found this useful, so you don't have to go and spend hours wading through and finding all the information. I thought I'd do the work for you and find out the information for you here. That is going to do it. Thanks for being here. You can check out everything at studiolivetoday.com. Oh, and you can go to studiolivetoday.com/iPad for my iPad user guide. I will be updating that with the new iPads and doing a separate video comparing these new models to what's out there. So if you're in the market for an iPad, watch out for that one if you are considering which model you should go for. Because you know what happens when new iPads come out? Yeah, refurbished versions of the old ones you can get for a super good deal. So we'll be talking about what's under the hood of all the different iPads. Thanks for being here, folks, and I will see you on the next video.